Hello out there in YouTube land.
Welcome back.
So today we thought we would do kind of a combo gothy try-on haul of the new Elf plus Chipotle thingy-mabobber. And then stay tuned toward the end of the video for an important announcement.
Yes.
So we wanted to first talk about an issue we discovered with the palette.
So, this is the palette. This is Elf's by Chipotle. And it's actually very pretty. However, we have a slight problem here. So this, which tells you all of the names, and Dani will show you.
When you take the plastic off, the shade names go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Also, if you flip the palette around, the information about the ingredients and stuff are located on that little piece of plastic. When you take it off,
They
nada.
go bye-bye.
So that, I would say, is a design flaw.
That is a design flaw.
Because, you know, those of us who really enjoy makeup and everything want to know the shade names of what we're doing in case we're telling somebody, oh, I use this shade of blah, 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 instead of now, like, I'm going to have to say, well, I sort of used the army green shade at the end of the palette, or the more yellow, kind of sparkly shade toward the middle of the palette, and that's kind of silly.
The only thing you could possibly do is trim it and just paste it onto the back.
But even at that, you won't have the shade names on the front. You'd almost have to cut the individual names and then paste them below each shade, and then try not to get glue in your eyeshadow.
So, fix it how you will if you want this one, but that is a design flaw from Elf.
So we'll just start doing makeup here, but we wanted to talk about that because it's actually a really important thing for eyeshadow palettes.
It is. So we have no idea how this is going to go on. We have no idea, you know, what it's like, because we just opened it.
And to be honest, I'm not sure I've ever tried Elf eyeshadow before.
I can't say that I have.
I've tried their foundation before, which did not go well because it's very strongly scented, and I am horribly allergic to perfumes. So yeah, that part did not go so well. Let's see here. What do I want to do?
I dove right into lettuce.
That's a pretty color.
Which would be the army green shade, if anybody's wondering.
I think I'll start out with this brownie shade, and then add bits of green. We're kind of shooting for like a gothic St. Patrick's Day Irishy type thing.
Which may or may not happen with this, we don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It might be cool, or we might do horribly.
Or it might not, you know, work at all.
Yeah.
So
we did go ahead and apply eyebrows and foundation before we got on camera, just to make the video not so long and less boring for you guys. Because I doubt you want to watch us put on foundation all the time.
So the green's definitely a builder shade. But it does go on nice.
Rustier brown seems to go on pretty evenly. But you do, you know, again have to kind of keep adding to it a little bit. I mean, if you want to go for like a really subtle look or something, then not so much.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This, what we're kind of doing, you know.
This has been our first makeup review in a really long time.
Yeah, for a while there we decided we weren't going to review makeup at all. But Elf is a relatively safe brand. They're not ever involved in scandals and that type of thing. So we thought, well, we'll review this one. Especially since we really kind of like the color palette because while, you know, it's not full of crazy shades, Tabby and I both have been kind of in a green mood lately. And the fact that this palette actually had some shades of green that we didn't own, we were really excited about it.
That, and I'm getting really, really tired of all the nude palettes.
Yes.
It just seems like they are literally repeating shades, and I don't know why.
There's very few brands that are not doing nude palettes, and one of them, like Glamlight, is still making beautiful, colorful palettes, and there are several other companies that are making palettes, but not very many. Most of the main brands are all back to nude, 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 nude.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's really nothing to distinguish the brands from each other at all.
Which, if you, really have to rely on nude shades, you have a lot of variety now.
Yeah, but, you know, the biggest thing I see as a problem is that all the nude palettes that are being made have all the same shades in them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a problem.
So the green's not bad.
No, it's not, and it blends well with the brown.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you could do with this palette very easily is there is a Barbie that is an elf Barbie that's like one of the collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
And this palette like would work perfect for recreating that makeup.
Yes. I mean, she's like a really expensive.
Yeah, so
No
we don't
longer
own
made.
it, but this color palette is literally, you know, the exact thing if you want to recreate that eyeshadow.
And for anybody who, plays Dungeons and Dragons, this is perfect. Wood elf palette.
I've actually never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I was a big nerd.
For me, it wasn't a fact of being a nerd or not. It was kind of like Dungeons and Dragons was my cousin Cammy's thing. And that was when she was like, late teen and, in early years in college and whatnot. And I was still in little kid age. And so I wasn't, like, that was back when, backmasking and all that stuff was huge. And if you played with Dungeons and Dragons, you were in league with Satan and blah, 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 blah.
I didn't actually start playing until I was in high school for that reason. But I was, I was the Dungeons and Dragons, magic cards.
We didn't have magic cards. We had... When I was in high school, I believe it was when... Well, it was like, 1994. So you didn't really have that type of cards out. It was still very, toward the end of the Thai Beanie Baby thing and all that stuff. That was the big thing. Which I didn't really get into except for the bats. Of course, I would have to have the bats. That kind of goes without saying. I never did get Radar, though. That was the first one. But I had the tie-dyed bat and I had the brown bat. I doubt anyone's surprised at that.
I actually still have a lot of my old Beanie Babies. Because I have the St. Patrick's Day bear, the Princess Di bear.
That's cool.
The blue elephant. It's a funny story about that elephant.
Okay.
It used to be when these first came out, you kind of took them to school with you and you popped your Beanie Baby on the desk. So here I am doing a test in my science class. And the teacher's walking around and notices my elephant. Not shitting you, he tried to make a deal with me to sell it in the middle of a test of a class.
Oh my god.
I was like, are you kidding me?
That's insane. But then, I think we've all had some unique experiences with teachers in our lives.
Yeah. Now, granted, there were some, they were just awesome. I mean, completely awesome. And there were some that were just a little strange.
Okay, this bright, shiny gold color is like the perfect inner corner highlight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you want to do like, Irishy stuff, this is perfect.
So something that I noticed, and I actually had to toss them out, is my Urban Decay palette. I went to do a look the other day. Had an allergic reaction so bad that my eyes were watering, I could barely see. I had to take it off immediately.
Oh, wow. And I know you sterilize your makeup and stuff.
Yes.
So, since you use the same thing to sterilize everything, it's cohesive throughout all of your palettes. So, evidently something in the ingredient must have degraded to the point that it
Yeah.
caused a reaction.
So, now granted, I have really sensitive skin and things like that, so, take that for what it is, but just be mindful of that for your aging Urban Decay palettes.
And yes, we're aware that there's a expiration date and that type of thing, but we don't have the type of money to be able to replace $50 palettes constantly.
I mean, we do replace our stuff.
But, eyeshadow is one of those things where when it degrades, it should just become more powdery and whatnot. It should not become dangerous. That's kind of my, little thing on that.
Now, I will say the shade Guac, which is a kind of a sparkly green, can go right on with a brush.
Yeah, and like the sparkly gold, and I even tried a little bit of the sparkly copper, and that went on like a dream. Here's a little bit of an amusement bit. So, my mother, of course, started doing her makeup and stuff in the 60s when cat eyes were big and that type of thing. But she never did them because she never, learned how to do the cat eye eyeliner. Well, at any rate, since, cat eyes have kind of gotten into fashion with the alt community and whatnot, I've been doing them pretty often. Well, my dad has decided he wants me to paint cat eye eyeliner on my mother. Even though she's never worn it in her life.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
The fallout of this is not bad either.
No, it's not. I mean, for the fact that it's a relatively inexpensive palette, it's actually performing very well.
And you guys know me, I always use my finger on something. So really, I'm kind of impressed by it.
I am too.
They're really good shades.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a complaint. I mean, granted, we didn't use every shade, of course.
Well, no.
But from what we can see, this is a really nice palette.
And I threw my eyeliner. I guess I didn't want to use that one.
It wasn't behaving, Tabby.
That's right.
When things don't behave, you have to punish them. So the eyeliner was bad. If it keeps it up, you'll start going, not the mama, like the old dinosaurs TV show.
Yeah, I started watching that again.
What's it on? What, streaming platform?
Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I don't have that one. Did finally get Shudder, though.
I like Shudder.
I have this nerdy love of documentaries. And I really enjoy the fact that Shudder has a wide variety of like horror-based documentaries on horror films and shows and actors and different things. And so I've been spending a lot of time watching that type of stuff. And one in particular I really enjoy is the Cursed Films documentaries. Those are fun.
Yeah, the price point on this palette's really not bad either.
No, it's not.
Especially because it is, now we can kind of see it. It's a really good quality palette.
I mean, I think they were like $16 each, but then, like, if you, like, do their, like, little sign-up thing, you get, like, an extra, like, $4 off a future order or something. So that's really kind of cool.
Elf is one of those brands that it's kind of a hidden gem in a lot of things. So I will say that we did have to draw a new winner for the barf bag.
Yeah.
So one thing that, if you guys enter the giveaways, be sure to claim your prize.
Yeah, because it was really a shame that, we announced it and then they didn't claim it.
I really like this green. It looks really good. I'm impressed.
It's a really, really, really nice shade.
Yeah.
That's cool because you can do a variety of different stuff with it.
Mm-hmm. It's one thing that you don't see a lot of anymore, are greens. And some people have done green palettes, but even those are limited.
And I don't know about you, but it's like the green palettes, they tend to go for only like mossier shades and stuff that would be quote unquote nude-ish greens instead of like all the gamut of greens you could think of. Which is really a shame because, like one of my favorite greens is of course like electric neon green. I love neon green. But there are very few palettes that are actually doing like a bright, shocking neon green.
I know Jeffree Star did one, but the palette is discontinued. It was an alien.
Yeah.
That was a really good green.
And I'm not sure why he discontinues some palettes and keeps other ones, because some of the ones that he keeps, I'm not like really thrilled with.
Yeah, me either.
So I don't know. I know some people complained about the packaging for the Alien palette because it was bulky and had the big, like, plastic eyeballs and made it hard to store and whatnot, but to me, you know, why couldn't you kind of re-release, like, a second edition with, like, different packaging or something?
Yeah.
Because he just did that with the blood sugar thing, so...
Which I wasn't really impressed with.
No, I mean, the fact that he just...
And I was even less impressed with the mini because it was literally just about every shade out of the original.
And just one, like, brand new shade.
Yeah,
you know,
one
to
shade.
me, if you're going to release a mini palette connected to a collection, you should kind of base the colors off other shades, but not have the exact same shades that are in the other palette.
Exactly.
Especially since it's been so many years since the initial, you know, palette was out.
And everybody is going to see that it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of a rip-off.
Yeah. It's not a wise marketing direction, I don't think.
No.
I mean, of course, maybe they thought since, you know, everything and, you know, it's less expensive and whatnot, but still, most everyone who's in the beauty community has either used the blood sugar palette or has seen it. So,
Yeah.
you know...
It's one of those that, you know, we still even have ours.
Yeah.
And use it to accent. But I wouldn't have put the money out for that.
No. If the little mini palette would have had different shades in it, and it was still the quality that the blood sugar initial blood sugar palette was, then I'd consider it. But it was not anything that was unique and new and, you know, whatnot.
And that's just, to me, if I'm going to buy makeup, it needs to be something unique. It needs to be something new, so...
Yes.
Especially because the price of it. The price of makeup. That's why I made a point with, you know, saying that this one was actually a really good price point, because you get, you know, a really good quality...
For, like, $16.
For $16.
And
instead of, you know, $40, $50, $60...
Exactly.
Dollars.
Because, you know, while the, like... custom stamps are kind of cute and whatnot, they actually do nothing for the quality of the makeup.
No.
And, you know, to me, it makes more sense to not have little stamps in it if you can make the overall cost of a palette a little less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand where, you know, brands are trying to say, oh, we're a luxury brand, so they do this, that, and the other thing. Except for the fact that some, like, luxury brands are having to close because they're not selling enough. Like Becca Cosmetics had to close.
Yeah.
So, in this worldwide thing right now, I think it makes less sense to do these, like, extra custom things to make you stand apart when there's brands closing because they're luxury but they can't sell enough product to keep open.
Yeah. So, that's our little spiel on that.
So, our little announcement. Miss Tabitha.
You will see me in this video. You're going to see me in the Irish vampire and dark fae lore video. But I'm going to be taking a hiatus until June.
Because she has a big project at work.
I do. I have multiple projects.
She's just not going to have enough time to film at the degree that we film. So we're just going to do a bunch of videos that are going to be me only for a while on the channel. But then come June, Tabby will be back. And we'll be back to our regular scheduled program of craziness and whatnot.
So, and it is a project that is important.
Yes.
So, such is the life.
Yes. So, we figured we would let everyone know what's happening with the channel, give you an update, as well as do this, like, little fun review. So, till next time.
Bye.
Bye.